So what did you say to the mom?
I asked her if it would be okay if I took Shay to the White House. And she said it would be an honor. And I said, that's exactly what I said to the White House.
I just couldn't speak afterwards. I didn't know how to explain it to her. She probably wouldn't believe me.
Now keep in mind, the house I'm in D.C., I'm just borrowing that. That's the People's House.
The White House can be inaccessible, but there's an intense effort underway to open the doors of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue to a variety of people, from elected officials to community leaders to students and educators, even musical icons. A recent event in the East Room honored Stevie Wonder. It was broadcast on public television and guests from across the nation were invited to attend. Kyle Wiedberg was one. A school administrator from New Orleans, he brought along a student, Shay Pierre, who has a special affinity for Mr. Wonder.
My dad's grandfather was a pianist, and my dad's uncle was a pianist who was blind.
Mr. Wiedberg has no particular link to the president. The White House invited him because he's director of the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. The Marsalis family of jazz musicians are deeply involved in the school.
Jason and Ellis is actually
my private teacher.
Is teaching lessons for Shay.
It was less than 2 weeks between the telephone invitation and the event.
I already had a suit, but I said I'm going to buy another suit.
All presidents invite Americans into the White House. George W. Bush was famous for his T-ball games on the South Lawn. The Obamas are extending these invitations to highlight the diversity of American society, but also to advance President Obama's political agenda.
There's an incredible bully pulpit to be used when it comes to, for example, education. Yes, we're going to have an education policy. Yes, we're going to be putting more money into school construction. But ultimately, we want to talk about parents reading to their kids. We want to invite kids from local schools into the White House.
It's also a reflection of the Obamas' own personalities. The first couple has tried to diminish the effects of the presidential bubble by traveling out of the White House and by bringing people in.
He's a bit of a restless soul.
But for the administrator and the young pianist from New Orleans, it was a surreal and thrilling night.
Pretty jazzed.